Hey guys, welcome back to the MangaMark channel. Today we're doing something different. A little video in between my reactions to One Piece. Just a little fun one, as we've got like a little break in the episodes which are being skipped, and I've got a couple little fillers to watch in between. But a bit hectic just now, but I thought we'll sit down and do this. This was an idea we had, and we're discussing it in the Discord for me to kind of try and predict the bounties of One Piece. Now, this could be future bounties for the crew. We've got a suggested names for me that I've put down in a kind of spreadsheet, and then I've also got a little column of the bounties that are known to me at this point, right? And so I'm going to kind of like look at them and then try and bounce off and see where I would put these people, just based on, I don't know, like what I think the bounties are or what I think the bounties will be when they are revealed. And that's it. That's the premise of it, you know, because we have people like, we've got Roger in there, because I thought, right, let's try and guess what Roger's bounty was before he was executed, and like things like that. I know that obviously Mihawk, his bounty won't be active, because he's a warlord now, but I like that they showed us like Don Flamingos and Kumas when we met them, and Crocodile. So I think it'd be fun to guess what was Mihawk's bounty before he became a warlord, kind of thing, stuff like that, right? So I know that obviously people have made suggestions and stuff about a power scaling video. I don't think that that is something that I can do one in the future, and we can all argue and have a laugh about it, right? But at this point, I feel like a load of these characters are very mysterious, and I can't judge it. You know, I feel like if I were to do a power scaling video, it would just be me guessing, and just be like, oh, this person's probably really strong. So I can do one maybe down the line once I'm further into the series. But guys, I'm just gonna go. I think the bounties is a good thing. I love the bounty system in One Piece. I find it better than like traditional like power levels and stuff in Shonen, because it's not about how strong you are, it's about your kind of status as a pirate kind of thing, and your how well known you are. It's like a load of things kind of brought into it. And so yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're going to go through, I'm going to predict my bounties and then give you my reasoning behind it, as to why I'm giving them that amount, right? And just heads up, usually on the channel, if you've never been at the channel before, this is your first ever video that you're watching, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel, join me on my One Piece journey. But usually, I do One Piece reactions. I'm going through the series for the first time. I am currently in the middle of Enies Lobby, and we've just had one of my favourite episodes where Robin is declared to the crew that she wants to live, and now they're about to charge in and rescue her. And so that's where I am. But heads up, usually in the reaction videos, when you guys have comments stuff, I like to jump in. I like to try and respond to as much people as I can and chat to you guys about the series. In this video, I am not going to be looking at the comments, right? I think that that's probably a good idea going forward with videos like this. If I do like prediction videos again, about like theories and stuff, I'm just going to avoid the comments on those videos. No, you guys have been great with spoilers and stuff, but I feel like it's easier for you guys just to know that I won't be there. Like, in the comments for this video, you guys can go wild and, like, you know, talk about how wrong I am, or if I'm close to some, and speak about the future and things in the series. I won't see it. So go wild in the comments for this one. I just think it's easier to avoid it, and it's less, because you guys are great at, you know, trying to keep me safe from spoilers. I really appreciate that. But things will be as normal in the reaction videos. I'll chat with you guys about the series. But in this one, and in I'll let you know at the start of a video, like a prediction video or something. I'll let you know if I'm just going to avoid the comments on the video, and you guys can just go crazy, right? So that's it. Now let's get into it. Let's have a look here and jump in. There was a few that I looked at, and there was some more suggestions, but I thought I don't like. There's some that I've put some of Baroque works in here. I just went Mr. 1, 2, and 3. Just, you know, like, I don't want to thing with the rest. Like, the likes of Blackbeard. It was suggested to do Blackbeard's crew, but I don't really know his crew-wise. I feel like I just been getting into the minutiae with those guys, because I need more. I need more of them. Blackbeard, I can make a guess. But for his crew, I think I need to see more of his crew to throw them in there, because like I did the same with Shanks. I didn't put like a couple of members of Shanks' crew that I know, like Usopp's dad and stuff, because, you know, like I've just picked the main players, right? Because you guys know what the character tier list videos are like. You know, I can get caught up in it, and they can last a while. So we're sticking with these like main characters, right? And we'll go from there. Now, in terms of Luffy and Zoro and Robin, technically as well, those three have bounties at the point I'm at in the series. Luffy's 100 million, Zoro is 60 million, and Robin, I believe, is 79 million. But with those three, because they are the main characters, and I know that their bounties will go up. Well, in terms of Luffy and Zoro, I think definitely. Robin, I'll get to my reasoning for Robin as to what I think of her, but with them, I'm just going to guess what I think their next bounty is going to be. Okay, because I do believe that, because of how much like Sanji and Usopp and that speak about it, every member of the crew will eventually have a bounty, right? And this is my kind of like, right, when they do have one, here's what I think. So we're starting off, right? Starting off with Nami. Now, I think that Nami, out of the crew, will have the smallest bounty, right? And I'm looking at the ones I know from East Blue. In fact, you know what? A bit of, you know, poetry here. I'm gonna, with Nami, I'm going to give her 20 million. Oh, put that in capital. 20 million for Nami. Because it's the same as Arlong, right? That was Arlong's bounty. I think that's a good starting bounty for Nami, right? That's that. And in terms, what I'm going to do as well is, because like you have the kind of the three, you know, like weak members of the crew, and I know like they're not, but like just for this, like they bring their own things to the table. I understand how in depth the characters are of One Piece, but in terms of like, I need to think of it as I need to think of it not as in how much I value these characters. I need to think of it as in how much of a threat is the world government going to see when they look at these characters. So what would they value them at, right? So I think that Chopper will be just up from Nami. Yeah. See, Chopper and Nami are the two that I'm kind of flip-flopping on. Because obviously I'm thinking like Nami, Chopper, Usopp. I think Usopp will be the highest out of the three, because this arc, guys, this arc has been Usopp's arc, right? He has to get a decent bounty after all this stuff. He just shot down the world government's flag. That just happened. So, come on, right? So Chopper, I'm going to go 25. 25 million for Chopper. And Usopp, how much do I want to go? Because the thing is, right, I feel like after Usopp, there's probably going to be a jump. But how much do I want to separate Usopp from Nami and Chopper? Not much, right? I need to think of it as like the world government kind of thing. Do you know what? Yeah, I'll go with 30 million. And that's good because that was Luffy's starting bounty when he made a name for himself in the East Blue. So that's good, right? I like that. That's a good number for Usopp. Right, this is the problem. Right? This is where it gets hard. Now, Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy, and then Robin as well. Now, I'll start off with Luffy. Right? With Luffy, I need to think about it here. Let me look at the other ones. I'm looking at some of these warlords here. See, it's hard because with the warlords, it's tough to gauge because these bounties aren't active anymore. Like, these were the bounties before they became warlords. So it depends how quickly they got recruited as well. Like, Crocodile's bounty could have been much higher. But it was 81 million at the time when the world government approached them. So, that's tough. That is tough. Right. What I'm thinking is, I don't think that they'll put them as high for his next one as high as the warlords. Like these two that we've seen, like Doflamingo and Kuma. I'm going to say that they double it. So he's 100 million right now. I believe Luffy will be 200 million. Right? Because I think higher than that, he's kind of too close to like Warlord. Like the ones we know about. Because the thing is, there's still Warlords that I don't know about. Obviously I know Mihawk, but I get to guess his because his hasn't been revealed yet. Like Blackbeard's trying to take the place of Crocodile. He got stripped of it. He's been captured. I know that there's one that's like the boss of the Fishmen. I can't remember. I've not got my book here to remember his name, but he was like, they spoke about him in East Blue. He was like one of the first warlords they spoke about. It was like Along's boss kind of thing. But I don't know anything about him, so not much. And then obviously, how many of them? So there's still two that I don't know anything about then. Is it two? I think so. Still two that I just don't know about. So, right, so if Luffy goes to 200, Zoro, because he's at 60. I was thinking 100, but then he's a bit too far away from Luffy then. Because right now he's only 40 million away from Luffy. I think that, like, Zoro's got to be, like, the second highest in the crew. Do I want to go 150? Do I want to go as high as that? I'm thinking maybe 150. But then I'm thinking like Sanji. What Sanji's gonna be? I'm trying to gauge it. Like the thing that's throwing me off is Sanji and Robin. Because Sanji's part of the monster trio, and I feel like it would make sense for him to be the third highest. But Robin it's not so much like Robin in terms of threat-wise for the crew. Her threat level for the world government. You know, if they've gave her 79 million when she was 8 years old, what will her bounty going to be? And I feel bad for Robin, right? Because if they do give her another bounty, they need to, you know, put her adult picture on the poster. You know, like how long is she going to go with this 8-year-old bounty poster kicking about? You know, give her an updated version, world government. Come on. But then, well, like after this as well, like what's happening right now in the story can play a big part in these next bounties. 9. We've just declared war on the world government. We've just declared war on the world government. But Robin's the threat. Like they're so scared of these poneglyphs and people that can read them. We saw that from the flashback there of how they were wanting to wipe out O'Hara. Oh, right, okay. Do I want to put Robin above Sanji? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. I think Robin will go above Sanji. In fact, you know what? Oh. Right. I'm going to put Robin. I'm going to move her up to 100 million. Right? Because obviously, like, as like Straw Hat Robin, I feel like even though the world government, because it's weird, right? Because they don't want it to be well known about why she has the bounty though, and that's what's messing my head up, right? That's what's making me think, no, wait a minute, they don't want to go too high because they don't want it known to the public why she has this bounty. Like everybody would always, like, it was very thing where like, oh, she's like the devil's child. She destroyed all these warships when she was a kid. So nobody knew the actual like why she has the bounty. You know, people could like surmise that she could read the poneglyphs. Like Crocodile knew that and kind of wanted to, you know, recruit her. So I don't think the world government wants, because they don't want people knowing about this blank century. So I think they're going to be like, right, we need to give her a higher bounty, and then we can use the fact that she is, you know, like part of this evil O'Hara, but she's also a member of this Straw Hat crew now, and we need to get her. So 100 million, I think, is fair for Robin. Sanji, by that logic, I'm going to say is below her. And I don't know. First bounty, because Sanji's not got a bounty yet. Zoro's 60. So that was Zoro's first bounty and he was 60. Do I just want to go 60? No, because I feel like that's not as big a jump from Usopp. I feel we'll go. So Robin's current one is 79. So we'll go 80. 80 million for Sanji. Right? Now Zoro. Oh God, where do I want to put you, Zoro? 150 was my gut instinct. But I feel like that might be too much. Because that means it'd be double Sanji, almost. I don't think they would do that. But then again, like Zoro's the one with the reputation. Zoro has always been the one that's like the most well known in the crew. Maybe not so much now. I think Luffy's becoming really infamous. But when we were in East Blue, nobody knew who Luffy was. Everybody knew Zoro. And even when we got to the Grand Line, Zoro's name had travelled there as well. So Zoro is the kind of like known quantity in the crew. So do I want to go 150? Do I want to go that high? I don't think so. Because it's too far away from Sanji. And that's the way I'm trying to think of it. I'm like, right, how far apart do I want to have those two? But then Robin's there as well. He has to be above Robin. I feel like Zoro, as the vice captain, he has to have the second highest bounty. He has to. Right. What I'm going to do is, it's a nice in-between. Because I doubled Luffy from 100 to 200. I will double Zoro from 60 to 120. Right? I think that's a good spread. Guys, that's a good spread of bounties there. I mean, come on, that looks pretty good. Right? So, look, the lowest we've got Nami with 20. Then the next we've got Chopper 25. Then the next with Usopp at 30. Then the jump goes up to Sanji at 80. Robin with 100. Zoro 120. Luffy 200. That's a good amount of bounties for the crew. Now, next we have the next crew member. I don't care what anybody says. Frankie is joining the crew. It must happen. He will be the shipwright. So, this is like the last straw hat then. But how does he fit into this dynamic here, right? So now I have my straw hat bounties. Where does Frankie fit in? I think he's in that gap, right? I feel like he's in that gap between Usopp and Sanji. He's in there. But then again, ancient weapon. Oh, ancient weapon, but it's not well known. The fact that he has it, it was like a secret mission, and again, I don't think the world government wants that being public, because then, you know, it becomes a free for all to get those blueprints from Frankie. So same kind of thinking as with Robin. I think they want to try and put a bounty on him, but not go too crazy. Right, and he needs to fit into the kind of like the scaling of the crew. If he's going to join the crew, he can't be above the Monster Trio or Robin. So it has to be in between. So what's Usopp at 30? Oh, I feel like it'll be right. Okay, so I'm gonna go because of like the thing, like what I'm thinking. I think it'll be below Sanji, so I'm gonna go for Frankie. Oh no, not 20. I'm gonna go 70 million for Frankie. Right? I feel like that's decent. That's decent, right? Because right now, Zoro's 60 as we stand. And like Frankie, obviously the world government ain't going to let Frankie lie because of those blueprints. So 70 I think is a good starting bounty for Frankie. Right? Now, Baroque Works. Baroque Works, guys. I don't know if these guys have bounties. I feel like when this was suggested, I'm like, right, I'm just going to guess what I think their bounties should be. Because they could have bounties at this point. Because, like, I know Mr. One is known as, like, is it Daz Bones? When Smoker was talking about him, he was, like, a famous, I can't remember if it was the West Blue. He was, like, an assassin kind of thing. So they are known. And they probably do have bounties. But they've been captured now. So here's I'm just going to basically like what I think their bounties should be kind of thing. With Mr. One, Crocodile. Let's look at for a second here. Crocodile 81 million, right? So Mr. One. Let me look at the East Blue guys here. So I think he'll be above Arlong. Above Arlong, who was 20. Mr. 1, I'm going to give him... Oh, right, okay, so but I need to think of it in terms of like where I put like straw hats, right? What I've given them. The mark scale. The mark scale of bounties, right? So Usopp I gave 30. Do I want to have them level? Mr. 1 was awesome. Mr. 1's a cool character. Let's not spend too much time on Baroque Works because the rest are going to be killers, right? Let's get through Baroque Works quick. Mr. 1, I'm going to give him... I'm going to give him 40. Because I feel like he has a bit of a reputation before we met him. Mr. 2, I don't think he's as well known. Because the thing is, like, Mr. 1 had a name for himself before he joined Baroque Works. Mr. 2 and Mr. 3, I don't think so. So, with Mr. 2, I'll put him at 20. And Mr. 3, we'll put him 15. With Buggy. Because that's the lowest one that I know of. And I won't do him dirty, I won't put him at 10. I feel like, in fact, you know what? I feel bad for Mr. 2. I feel like about 20 is a bit... I'll give him 25. You know. 25 because... Oh, in fact, you know, wait there. Oh, no, it doesn't make sense. They wouldn't raise his bounty because they captured him. I was going to say, because of what happened at the end of Alabasta, when he helped the Straw Hats get away, it probably went up. But then I'm like, they're not going to raise his bounty because they captured him. So, yeah, 25. That seems fair. Right, for those three, let's kind of leave it at that. I don't know if, because they've been captured and their stories kind of been resolved, I don't know if we'll ever get an answer to this. But you guys will know better than me about that. Now, Zeph. It's an interesting one. Because Zeph obviously has a bounty, I believe. But it's never been revealed to us. Because Don Krieg made it clear that Zeph was known in the Grand Line. Made a name for himself. But what is the level of that name? Because it was... He knew Mihawk. He knew Mihawk. So, where do I want to put him? Is he up there? I don't think he's like Warlord level. Like, is he that like renowned? Oh, so Luffy, I'll give 200. Zeph in his prime. This is me. I'm thinking like Zeph when he was in the Grand Line, but then he came back to East Blue. Do you know with Zeph? Because the thing is, it's messing my head up, right? I'm using Don Flamingo and Kuma to kind of like look at this and gauge these. But the problem I've got as well is, if they didn't become warlords, those bounties could be higher. Because that's the bounty amount it was when they were recruited. And that's messing me up. So, if Doflamingo and Kuma didn't become warlords, those bounties could have even rose higher than what they are right there. Same with Crocodile. So with Zeph, I'm going to give Zeph 250 million. 250 million for Zeph. I love Zeph. And I feel like if he has that reputation, if he's that well known, and he seemed to have a kind of respect for Mihawk. That way, kind of like, so I think that he might have been near the Warlords, but not quite there. So 250, I think's respectable for Zeph, right? Blackbeard. Oh man, Blackbeard, right? So this is tough. In fact, you know what? Might not be. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 200 million. Same as Luffy. And my reasoning behind it is, I don't think people know about Blackbeard yet. And if he's trying to join the Warlords, then that bounty's not getting higher. So if he joins the Warlords, because the thing is, when his crew members showed up at the meeting, when the Warlords were there, when Doflamingo and Kuma and Mihawk were there at Marine HQ, they didn't know who he was. So he wasn't on their radar. Obviously he was a member of Whitebeard's crew. We know Ace is hunting him down. But I feel like 200... Like, obviously I know what the expectations are. He's much, much higher. But I need to think of it in terms of... He's not known to the world yet. Like, he's known to a select few. And now he's trying to get into that Warlord status. So 200, I'm thinking. Because I think that he's above Luffy. As it stands right now. Because remember, guys, 200 for Luffy's my prediction. As it stands right now, Luffy is 100 million. And it was Blackbeard that held the bounty posters up to show them when he was trying to capture them. So... And when he looked at Luffy's bounty, he was quite happy when he saw that Luffy was 100 million. He was like, yes, right, let's go and get them. So he's quite confident. He's quite confident that he could handle 100 million, berries pirate, no problem. So 200, I think, is reasonable. Just based on his notoriety at this point. Because I'm trying to weigh it up because, like, I don't think he's that well known, but at the same time, he's been going around doing shady stuff. You know, he was causing havoc on Drum. We know that. He caused, like, the king and all that to flee, even though I hate Wapple. But yeah, so that's my thinking. Whitebeard's they described him as the strongest man in the world, right? So, my thinking here, guys, with Whitebeard, I think that Whitebeard is the first billion. 1 billion for Whitebeard. Just based on that, just based on the fact that he is, like, the box that came up described him the strongest man in the world. Obviously, like, the way people reacted to it as well. The way that Buggy spoke about Whitebeard when he saw the symbol on Ace's back. The way, even Zoro, when he saw Ace's symbol in Alabasta. The way people react to that name in this world. And I feel like I haven't seen, like, Doflamingo is the highest bounty I've seen, right? So I don't have a gauge of how high we can go here. I feel like 1 billion, that's a lot. But I need to try. I might change depending on how I gauge these next ones here, because these are going to be tough, right? I might flip flop. just based on these, right? So, $1 billion for Whitebeard, I'm feeling. Shanks is such a mysterious character, guys. Such a mysterious character. And I don't know how he fits into the world, right? Obviously, he has a friendly kind of relationship with Mihawk, who's one of the warlords. And the way Mihawk described it when he showed up to show him Luffy's bounty, I feel like Mihawk and Shanks used to clash. But now, like, Mihawk's kind of like, I don't wanna fight you because you've got one arm, kind of thing. So they're on kind of like friendly terms now, which makes me think. Then I'm like, right, okay, so Shanks is obviously going to be up there, and then is the fact that he's like chatting to Whitebeard and sending him messages and is going to meet him. So he's obviously very confident in his abilities. I think he's going to be above the warlords, but nowhere near Whitebeard. Because I don't think he's like... I've never heard people talking about Shanks the way I've heard them talking about Whitebeard. Like, Shanks is very impactful for us and for Luffy. But I don't think he's as well known as Whitebeard. I don't think he's as, like, famous. And I don't see Shanks doing a lot of shady stuff to get a big bounty. Like, I don't think Whitebeard's a bad guy. You know, it's based on the way that Ace talked about him. And the fact that Ace is a member of his crew. But I think he obviously has that because he's that notoriety of being the strongest. Whereas Shanks... Right. With Shanks, I'm going to go 750 million. Because he's not a warlord, so he hasn't been capped like the rest of them. I feel Shanks could be 750. But I want to have him that. Do you know what? I'm going to change Whitebeard. 1.5 billion. I think he's going to be double Shanks. Yeah, I'm happy with that, right? Because I'm looking at these next ones and I'm like, oh, right, okay. Where do I want to put them? Ace. Oh, Ace. Where am I putting Ace? Ace, come on. So he's a member of Whitebeard's crew, which I think's like the world government would be like, whoa, okay. So he's got to. If I'm putting Luffy at 200, I feel like Ace has to be much higher. I'm going to double it, right? So for Ace, I'm going to go 400 mil. 400 mil for Ace. I feel like that's a decent, you know, it's above Doflamingo, above Kuma. Because I need to remember that those guys could be higher, but they're warlords. So, right. This next one's interesting. In fact, I'm going to leave Dragon and Roger to the end because I feel like those two are going to be tricky. Just based on like the perception of the world. Enel, I don't think Enel has a bounty because nobody has a clue who he is because he's been up in the sky all this time. But I need to think of it as to like, right, if in the future I'm getting down the line and Enel's, you know, journey to the moon doesn't go as he planned and he comes crashing back down to Earth and then he starts, you know, making a name for himself in the blue sea. What bounty can I see Enel having high? high, guys. I think, in fact, you know what? I think it could be higher. See, the problem with Enel is, even though Luffy beat him, Luffy would not have beaten him if it wasn't for the nature of the devil fruits. Because Enel having such a powerful devil fruit, like Enel going up against anybody else, and the fact that he can, you know, use mantra to kind of basically predict people's movements. Ooh, you know, that Logia shows up anywhere else, forget it. Forget it. I think Enel beats Crocodile. I haven't seen the other ones. Right, so Doflamingo 340. Do I want to put him above Ace? Do I want to put him above Ace? Do you know what? I think him and Ace being the same is good. That works for me. Right, 400 mil, double Luffy. And you're probably going to say, oh, double Luffy, but Luffy beat NL. Think about it though, like it's that way where it's the same. That's why I don't like gauge like power in One Piece that way, as to, oh, he beat him so he's stronger. It's like, you have to watch the nature of the story, the nature of the fight, the way it's been built up, the way the victory happens. You know, like I said, the devil fruits played a big part in that Luffy beating an L. The same with Crocodile. Like, I don't think that Luffy, maybe now that we have second gear, different story, right? But when Luffy beat Crocodile, I was like, Luffy's not stronger than Crocodile. Because like Crocodile like nearly killed him like 3 times. And Luffy like figured out a strategy and like just through grit and determination got the win. Because these Logia powers, man, these Logia powers are just OP. OP, guys. Mihawk. Right. Okay. So this again, he's known as the world's greatest swordsman. He is Zoro's goal. We know that. We know how he's viewed by the world, right? But here's the problem. He's a warlord. So his bounty's been capped. So my first instinct when I was thinking of Mihawk's bounty was to have him level with Shanks. Just because of that little interaction they had. That they used to, I feel like they used to clash with each other. But he's a warlord. So I don't think he is going to be as high as Shanks now. Because his bounty ain't getting any higher. So I need to think about it as like, when did he become a warlord? And then like Shanks, his reputation has grown since then. So we'll give Ace 400 to Shanks. So we'll go 600 million for Mihawk. Because I think out of the warlords, he's by far the highest. You know, just that incident on Barate has stuck with me all this time. And like, I rate him so highly. I need to see more from the other warlords. I've only really seen them in that little meeting. I saw Don Flamingo, you know, when he showed up to take care of Bellamy and his crew. But, yeah, you know, it's that way where like, not as impactful as the Mihawk thing. And then obviously, the reputation. The reputation that he is the world's greatest swordsman has to put that up, right? It's insane. Like, I know Whitebeard's like the world's strongest man, but to have that, to have world's greatest in your title, And what I'm saying is, guys, like, don't get me wrong, I think that if Mihawk wasn't a warlord, it would be higher. I think it would be Shanks level, or even probably higher than Shanks, just because Mihawk seems to be more well known. At least so far as to where I am in the story. Because, like, I haven't heard too many people mention Shanks, but everybody seems to know who Mihawk is, right? Now, these last two, my God, right? Okay, how do you even judge this? Because the problem I've got is Goldie Roger was the Pirate King. So what was his bounty before he got executed? And then on the other hand, Dragon is like this revolutionary, and like the world government are after him. And like he was like when they were all having that meeting, he was like the main topic and stuff. Do I want to put Dragon level with Whitebeard? Because I feel like Whitebeard has the reputation. And like the pirate, like the world's strongest man and stuff, he has that going for him. But I feel like Dragon, the fact that he is the leader of a revolutionary army that is literally trying to take down the world government, because that is like he's basically the biggest thorn in the world government's side, I would say. You know, like pirates don't have like a goal like that. A lot of them have like they want to be king of the pirates, maybe. You know, but a lot of them are just kind of like living like it's the life of a pirate. You know, they're living, want to live as free and do what they want and like cause trouble, blah blah. A lot of them don't have like Luffy's got like a dream to be king of the pirates. But as we've seen through the series, not all pirates think that way. And a lot of them laugh at him. A lot of them just want to be, you know, doing what they want. I don't know what Whitebeard's like ambitions or kind of thing is, but like Ace made the comment to Luffy that if he wants Whitebeard to be king of the pirates, but you know, like what is, I don't know. It's hard to, until I need to see more of Whitebeard. I have only seen a glimpse of Dragon. Like the only time I've really seen Dragon is clips when they're talking about him in like the world government meeting, and when he saved Luffy in Logtown. So don't know much. I know how infamous he is. I know how much he is, you know, like hated by the government, and like they want to capture this guy, obviously. So I think like he's more well known than Shanks, maybe. I'm gonna put him level with Whitebeard, I think, just because they're two. I feel like these two are going to have the highest bounties. Whitebeard and Dragon are going to have the highest bounties. I'm not counting Roger because he's dead. Of the people that are alive, these two are going to have the highest bounties. And I think it's like two sides of the kind of like, so the pirate guy, the revolutionary guy. So I'm going to put him as well. 1.5 billion. Like, he's like, it's using that word billion. Like, who's breaking into the billion mark, you know? And with Roger, because of that, because of what I've said about Whitebeard and Dragon, I think 2 billion. King of the Pirates has to be the most wanted. I feel like Roger's has to be the highest, just based on, you know, what he accomplished. What he was the Pirate King. So I feel like that's fair. I feel like 2 billion, come on, higher than Whitebeard, higher than Dragon. I feel like that is the case. And I don't think it's too, like, I mean, I feel like that's a decent number. I feel like 2 billion, not, I don't want to double Whitebeard, because I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference, because I don't know, like, Whitebeard was in that kind of like generation with Roger, so Whitebeard was still about doing his thing when Roger was the king of the pirates. So, but it makes you think, like, in terms of like those two, like, what did they clash with each other back then? Because if Whitebeard has that moniker of being the world's strongest man, did he have that when Roger was still alive? Because Roger didn't have to necessarily be stronger than him to become king of the pirates, you know? But yeah, so that, right, that, I've locked it in. That's me. Video's done. Here is the final numbers, guys. That's us. We're good to go. Have a look at my predictions for the bounties. This is a long video. Like I said, this is what happens when I start talking about this series. I get too into it. What do you guys think? Jump in the comments. Like I said, I won't be in the comments responding, so don't ask me a question in the comments of this video. I won't respond to it. You know, it will be back to normal in the next one when I do the reactions. Ask me a question in that one. I'll jump in and chat with you. But yeah, guys, chat away. Let me know. Well, don't let me know. God, what am I talking about? It's just the problem. I'm not used to saying that in the videos. Like, jump in the comments, chat amongst yourselves, and speak to each other, and like make fun of me if I'm way off with these. You know, like if I get to a point when like the bounties are revealed. Like, if down the line, like, oh, so-and-so gets a bounty, and I've got it right, or I've got it close, if you can remember, like, jump into the comments then and be like, oh, Mark, you nailed it, you know? Absolutely nailed it. Yeah, so, guys, thanks for watching. I need to go and deal with this. There's someone at the door. Thank you so much for watching the video, and consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Watch me geek out about One Piece in future videos, and watching the series. Like I said, I do reactions for going through the series, watching it for the first time on the channel. And yeah, guys, everyone that is part of this awesome community, thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys more than I can say, and I'll see you in the next reaction video. Thanks, guys.